Hello, friends. It's Rick here from Rock Island. I'm going to give a little talk today about leadership. What makes a good leader and what really has nothing to do with leadership. And I think we see this actually in today's, in the presidential nomination. People, what they do not understand about leadership. But first, before I talk about that a little bit, I'm talking about leadership in general. What makes a good leader? Well, there's not one answer to it, but I've been in the military and I'm soon to be out very shortly. Essentially, I am no longer doing any duty, but I'll be retired in 1 January. So I've been in about 41 years in the military, all told. And I have been in leadership positions, and I've served under many leaders, many. And I've seen the gamut of what I would call poor leaders. Not too many of them, but I've seen that. Good leaders and extraordinary leaders. I'll tell you, some of the leaders that were very good that I still remember to this day is not necessarily the ones that I liked or their personality gelled with mine. That's a misnomer. Yes, it's nice if a person in leadership has a great personality and has a rapport and is able to attract people to them because of who they are. That's definitely a plus. Don't get me wrong. But that is not a core of leadership. Not at all. A good leader knows, first of all, he knows what the mission is, and he has a vision how to accomplish the mission. And then he has to ensure that all the people that are subordinate to them, to him or her, do their jobs, okay? Regardless of whether he likes those people or not, or they think the same way politically or morally, that has nothing to do with leadership, okay? He has to put those feelings aside. He also, a good leader, has to also realize that the people working under him are his most vital assets. Okay? That the mission has to get done. And the best way to get a mission done is to ensure that the people under him are on board, they're taken care of, and they respect him. They don't have to, or her, him or her, they don't have to like the leader personally, but they need to have respect. See, leadership is about gaining respect, not somebody's personal like. That's your friends, your family, and things like that. But when it comes to leadership, you need to be a person that stands for what they believe, is honest and true, has integrity, and the subordinates know that this person, whoever it is, male or female, in this position of leadership, has their back. Because if subordinates know that a leader has their back and cares about them, with few exceptions, there's always lazy people. You can't do anything about that. But most people who work, whether it's in a military environment, a civilian environment, or whatever, okay, even in a sports environment, okay, a leader of a team, coach of a team, or a manager or captain or something like that, most people will work harder and have more sense of pride to work if they know that their leader really cares about them as a person. Because there are some leaders that are very smart, very, very smart, and they're so focused on the mission getting done, which is good, but they don't show or care to show anything about the subordinates. And it shows. Sometimes they're not really meaning to do that. They're so focused on getting the job done and making sure that all these people do their job that they fail to understand that these are not machines. These are people. And they have other aspects that people need to care about, make sure their family's taken care of, their ability to gain their careers higher, make sure they do the right things. If you're in the military, to go to proper schools to get advancement, stuff like that. If a leader, if a subordinate knows the leader is keeping that in mind, they're apt to work much harder and get that goal done because they feel they're part of a team and they're not an island just being used. You know, Matt, I forget that we studied in business. I forget. I don't think it was Maslow. I forget who it was, but there was two schools, X and Y. X said that basically people are cogs in a wheel to be used to the final end. But Y, I think it was McGregor, I'm pretty sure, a theory. Y said that people when people are actually think that they're actually important to a company or something, they'll actually, and they're valued, they'll actually work harder. Okay? And again, I want to stress that a good leader is not a person you necessarily always have to like. I'm going to give an example of my most recent leadership and that I had. I'm not going to use the man's name because I don't want to do that, but tons of respect for him. When I first started this last assignment, it was difficult to really understand because this particular man, he's just a high-strung person, very intelligent, but he's not always the nicest person by his own admission. He tends to be, especially when I first came there, he seems to have calmed down a little. He tends to fly off the handle over things sometimes, but I'm telling you, as time has gone by and I've seen the way he leads, very effective. And I would stand by this person in any type of situation if I needed a person to be with me as an asset for a mission, anytime. Because the man, I've noticed, despite issues, despite his personality being probably different than the way I'd approach something or somebody else, he's always there to have his back on people that he knows is doing their best. He cares for his section. He's very effective. And he will always stand by people, his subordinates, that he knows is doing the right things. He just wants you to work very hard. Nothing wrong with that. But we all know that push comes to shove, he cares. See, some of the best leaders I've had in my military career weren't always the ones I liked or liked me. That's okay. Now, there's some that I did. Don't get me wrong. There's some leaders throughout my career that it worked. It was nice. They had the whole package. They were very approachable, this and that. But that stuff is good. Being all that good personality and friendly and smile and stuff. But that alone is not what makes a good leader. We have this misconception. All right? It is very difficult to be a leader in a company, in the military, or wherever. Very difficult. People don't understand that. And it's very talented when you have a good leader. I'm going to give an example of this, the presidency. Donald Trump was an excellent leader. Okay? He may not have the greatest personality, although I have no problem with it because he's real. He's never changed who he is from when he was a businessman to a politician. And I actually have a lot of respect for that. Yeah, he's a little crass. He's a little arrogant. He is. Probably by his own admission. But like the leader I just worked for, the man got things done. The middle class was much more taken care of. People could afford things. And that's what I want as the president. I don't care about how he looks, how he talks, or if I don't like the way he is this. We have a misconception of a president is not people who vote for who voted for. Would you like to take this guy? Is this the type of guy I was told this when Trump in 2016. Why I want to vote for him? Would he be the type of guy you want to take home and have dinner with your family? Well, first of all, yes, because he's real. So I like real. Second of all, who cares? He's never going to do that. This is a leader of a nation. You know how hard it is of the free world, of the most powerful nation in the country? Do you know how hard that is? Especially today? I'm not voting for a man because he's my friend or he's going to be hanging out and playing board games with me on a Friday night and drinking a few beers with my friends. That has nothing to do with anything. And yet people vote on that because they're told to do that. All right? I don't care about Donald Trump personally because I'm never going to meet him, and neither are you. I care about what he can do. That's a leader. Okay? Leadership has nothing to do with your personal likes or dislikes of a person. You need to check that at the door. So that's my talk about leadership today. And I hope you enjoyed the talk. And it's middle October. For the first time in a while, we're actually kind of cool here. We're starting to finally get that cool year in the 50s today. So I hope you have a great rest of the day. And that's it. God bless.